Hello, I am Milan,
I am Katie.
and we are from Food Science Elective. We were handed a project called Culinary Meets Art, which is basically a project that we get to create a dish from one of the seniors' pieces of art. We get to implement their art into our food. So the piece that we get to do was called um, it's this piece. It is a very beautiful piece. It has a deep meaning to it, which is basically it portrays violence and injustice that was hidden, which is like in layers in the artwork, but it is revealed under the light of stage. So the dish that we chose to make was
Chocolate mousse.
yes, which was created by which ingredients?
We create the basis tofu and chocolate for like 60% chocolate. Okay, so the first step, we get the tofu, right? But it needs to be in a normal temperature. At first, we need to cut the tofu in like small
Slices,
squares,
yeah, in pieces.
and dry it, because if the tofu is very like have hot water a lot,
Wet.
it will make the mousse be like a liquid.
So it takes like a perfect consistency to be able to make the mousse. Like the temperature and what is it called? The liquidness of the food. I mean, of the ingredients has a large effect on how the mousse would turn out and how it would taste in the end. Yeah, so that's kind of a challenge for us. And why did we choose to make the mousse? Like, how does it cooperate with the artwork?
So, like we can see in in this artwork are quite like not have the exactly size or exactly shape. So we think that mousse are like it doesn't really have like a shape.
A shape? Yes.
It's like about our creativeness, like how do we design the plate. So that's why we choose the mousse. And for the red one, we choose to use the strawberry to make it like
Yeah, so it's created in layers, as you can see, which kind of like is the same concept as the art. The art, like, it has many layers to it, which is hidden with violence and so forth. We did the same with this one, which is like the colors are the same. The colors that Piquet use are mostly like red and black and mostly dark colors, which portray like violence. It's what we're trying to do here. We shows like the colors that are kind of similar to hers. Yeah, so it turns out like this. Okay. Back up. Next.
the conclusion.
Sensory communication. So there are 5 senses, right? For sight, what visual elements connect to the art? Like, yeah, like as we have said, which are like the colors and the texture, which is kind of the same, which is like sloppy, undefined form, which kind of represents the same as the art.
And smells. What does the dish smell like, and how is that significant?
For the smell, right? I feel like because we use like a lot of
Tofu.
yeah,
Chocolate.
and also the strawberries. Yeah, since we use like the same like very different distinguishable ingredients, the smell are pretty like
Mix.
mixed.
It's
like-
like a soy. Like it's a tofu.
Yeah, like it's very different set of ingredients, but you can distinguish the smell pretty clearly even though they're mixed together.
Like for me, it's like the soy chocolate taste.
Yeah, like this one. Okay, next. How do the flavors reflect or contrast with the emotions of the artwork? Flavor.
So like the mousse is kind of taste is like not too sweet, but still have like a bitter of the dark chocolate.
Of the tofu also.
Yes.
It's like very light, I think.
Oh, also we add like a cracker and strawberries, so
Yeah.
it doesn't make the chocolate like too sweet, but
Yeah. For me, I also agree with Katie. The flavors aren't as strong as I thought. Maybe because it was Katie's idea to use the tofu, so like it kind of lightens the overall taste. Like I thought mousse would be like super sweet, but because we use tofu, so it kind of lowers the
Than we
flavor.
expect,
Yeah, and with the artwork, right? I feel like for the artwork it's like very strong. I imagine it to have like a very strong taste. But for us it isn't quite that strong with the chocolate and that type of stuff. Yeah, but since we have the strawberries it kind of pulls up the flavor a bit more. Yes, okay. Next. Touch.
Is there a texture or mouthfeel that you get
I think we already covered that. Like as Katie has said, the undefined structure of mousse. Sound.
Are there sound involved in preparing or eating the dish that relate to the artwork? Sound like a cracker?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the crackers. I feel like since it's about violence, right? There's like many like, boom, yeah, which that we kind of went through a lot of that with the blender. Yeah, so I don't know if we could like completely represent that as part of our dish, but it is a process that can lead to the artwork. Okay, what yeah? Conclusion. Reflect on what you learned by connecting food and art. Share any challenges or surprises that we have encountered. I think
When we
tofu.
the tofu, we try to get the tofu and the chocolate in the blender, right? And when the first time that we blend, the tofu is like kind of stuck the
Blender,
like, the blender.
the blades in the end, in the bottom of the blenders.
But like the second one is like more smooth for only like under, like I don't know how to explain, but it's like
It's like better, like
it's
the
it
texture
slowly
is
become
smoother,
better,
yeah.
yes. But we need to use the spoon to mix it.
Yeah, to stir. Another problem that Katie addressed to me while we were doing it is the temperature of the tofu. Since this dish was like very, what is it called? Very detailed in terms of like how the ingredients are made or produced. The tofu wasn't supposed to be refrigerated, but Mr. Stay kind of refrigerated everything for us.
Yes.
So the tofu was like kind of hard. Yeah. Wet.
Yeah, it was
Wet.
very
It was
wet.
wet, which wasn't supposed to be wet. It was supposed to be dry. So the mousse was like more liquidy than we thought it would be. But it's fine because we can connect that to the artwork.
Yes, and it's very delicious.
Is and the last thing that I think we could have done better was we could have planned how the plating, how we were going to design the plate overall, and also our time. Like our time management is like super bad because I was new to making desserts and Katie was a pro, so she was like kind of doing everything on her own, and I was kind of like looking and doing what she says is right. So it kind of like consumed a lot of our time because I was like, what am I supposed to do? But yes, overall it was like pretty
good.
yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I think it tasted like so good, to be honest. Yes, so kind of yeah, so that's kind of it. That's kind of our journey to making this culinary meets art project. It was super fun. I'm very glad that we get to have Piquet as our senior. I mean, we can use her art in our dish, and we're really glad that we had you as our inspiration. Yes. Thank you so much.
for listening.
Okay, bye.